Hello, everyone. I'm so glad that we can spend these times together. I enjoy doing videos. I enjoy communicating with you, and I really, really appreciate your response. It's so good to hear you send back in notes and letters, and just know that one of the things that makes this work is communication. Communication works best when it's two ways. So let me hear from you from time to time. Let me know how you're doing and how I can maybe help you. Today I wanted to talk to you about change and choice. Change and choice. One of the things God gave us was the ability to make choices. God gave Adam and Eve choice. God gave David choices. He gave Abraham a choice. God gave people opportunities to do the right thing. Now, there were many times when they didn't do the right thing and they had to suffer the consequences. But there's always a choice. Can never make you do something because you have what's known as free will. Having said that, when we examine where we are today, I want to talk about the necessity of change. Change is so important and change is so vital that one of the things that we end up having difficulty with many, many times is the fact that we do not make choices that need to be made. We have such difficulty um, changing because we get comfortable. In football, they have what's called a timeout. And in the timeout session, it allows for people to get into the huddle. And once they get into the huddle, they get 45 seconds to get the instructions, get their plans, and then get back out on the field. If they go longer than that, they have what's called, they're charged a delay of game penalty. Well, God wants us to be involved in making necessary changes today. God wants you to make some changes. That's why He gave you the ability of choice. If there were no need for change, then why would you need choice? Choice allows you to choose between options. Many churches love the huddle experience. They love getting together. They enjoy the worship and the praise and the choir and the pastor and the social gathering. And it's the huddle that is so enjoyable. But look, you can't spend all your life in the huddle. You got to get out. One of the difficulties of the pandemic is that it has made us want to miss the huddle. I say to people, you can get online, you can talk to 500,000 people every day on your social chats, and you can get all these hits, and you can talk to people all around the world. You can make friends you've never made before, and people are indeed reaching out. But many of us are upset because we said, well, when are things going to go back to the way they were? My friend, things will never be the way they were. We're in a new world, in a new age. Not just because we have new faces running things. See, that's the political lie. You don't change a country by changing the faces. You change a country by changing the hearts of its people and the expectations of its citizens, so that we then begin with God and we end with God. God wants His people to be involved on the field, like the football team. Get on the field and play the game. Play what the role you are meant to play. And friend, just understand and just know that if you stay in the huddle, you will eventually die. You'll cause all kinds of delays and you'll incur all kinds of penalties. God wants you out of the nursery and into the world of real people. And once you've had your healing and had your nurturing time, wonderful, it's good stuff, but you can't live there. That's not where you live. I love worship music. I love praise teams, but something is very wrong when we spend all of our time just enjoying the huddle of praise. It's good. But when last have you told somebody else about Jesus Christ? When last have you gone to someone who you don't know and say, hey, can I talk to you a minute? Let me tell you about a gift that God has for you. And it's absolutely free. You don't have to work for this. You can't earn it. God wants to put His life in anybody who will trust Him. I mean, you can share the gospel instantly. And that is what we are called to do, to be salt and light. Let people know that there is hope and there is life and there is choice. My friend, you can choose today to move and to change. And so let God make a difference. Be the difference that you want to see happening in the world. And so the interesting thing is the church in the book of Acts got to a place where persecution began to come in. Now, they could have stayed right where they were, or they could have scattered. They chose to scatter. The scattering didn't mean they were weak. It simply meant that they got a chance to get into Asia Minor. And so people like Peter and John and James, they were scattered. They wrote to the churches, scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia. And the reason for their scattering was because of persecution. And the persecution came because God wanted change. Now, God always wanted change. God was concerned about his family. Remember, God never created a church to be static. God wants his church to be active. It's a family atmosphere. But church is meant to be a family. It's meant to be a brotherhood, sisterhood. It's meant to be a place where you can grow. And so, in your life, are you making the necessary choices for the changes you need to make? Many times we feel as if we don't have any choice. You have people say, well, I don't have any choice. No, there's always a choice. There's always a choice. You always have a choice. You can do nothing. You could respond. You could sit there. You can engage others. You can get involved. But remember, one of the reasons why pressure comes, like persecution came to the early church, is to get you to move. God wants you to move. God wants you to not sit down every day. God wants you to be active. And so get involved in your life. Take an opportunity to get out there and do the things that need to be done. Get involved with people who you have not seen in a while, and take time with them to make sure that they understand that you want to bless them, you want to help them, and you want to carry the message of the gospel. God wants the church to grow, not just so that they can have more numbers, not just so they can have a bigger choir and to have a bunch of different departments. God wants his church to grow so that we can expand, we can explore, we can experience, and we can learn to express our love of God and our understanding of the world. The world is changing. We've gone through many changes this year. And so don't get disturbed when you see storms and then you see persecution building up. That is simply God's way of moving you in the right direction. But you still have the choice. You still have to make the choice of what you will do. Now you can decide how you're going to be today. Decide that today you're going to be powerful. You said, well, Pastor Sands, I don't feel powerful. No, but you have to think it. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Power will never become a reality to you until you begin to think in terms of power. If you think in terms of weakness, that is what you will do. That's what you will manifest. If you think in terms of anger and resentment and rage, then that's what you will manifest. But I want you today to choose power, to choose peace, to choose choice, and to choose change. And to know that God is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we can ask or think, according to the power that works in us. So go out today, create change, make a choice, be powerful for God, and help his kingdom to grow.